They say April showers bring May flowers, and T.S. Eliot claimed that April was the cruelest month. The rain, the clouds, the sprouts of spring flowers popping out of the damp ground. I've always struggled with April, reducing it to May's younger, quieter sister, living only to provide the stage that May flowers bring. But April is so much more. April bridges the realms of winter and spring. It invites us to slowly come out of hibernation. April is the song Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. April is the moss on the log after days of rain. April is the bulbs of tulips beginning to peek out of the soil. April is for those who romanticize the rain, who walk barefoot on the earth. April is the newborn creatures venturing out from their mother's embrace, the cherry blossoms on the bare, spindly trees. April is fickle. April is gentle. April is about rebirth. April is cold with sunshine. April is about balance and preparation. I am an April person. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion, and today we are going to do a video about April as an aesthetic. In this day and age, everything becomes an aesthetic, and I really wanted to do something about the month of April. As you can tell by my username, I'm a Taurus. I was born April 26th. However, as much as I love being a Taurus, I've never liked the month of April. I've always hated April. I always wish that my half birthday, which would be October 26th, was my real birthday because I love October. Growing up in Miami, April was always just rainy and gross, and I just feel like that's what April is in general, and I always really struggled with it. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I wanted to romanticize April for myself and for anybody else who struggles with the month of April like I do. Every single time I've been dumped, it's been in the month of April, usually around the week of my birthday. Guys really like to plan out dumping me right before my birthday. It's great. And this video is going to be similar to my winter aesthetic coquette video that I made a while ago, where I sort of like made up an aesthetic or combined a few different aesthetics that I wanted to see. Very Svetlana core meets coquette meets winter bimbo, that whole thing. So that's what this video is going to be. It's not going to be on like April girl aesthetic, because when I was looking at the April girl aesthetic, every single video was different. You know, everyone had a different take on what April was. So I went to my Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, all of that, and sort of tried to gather as much information. And this video is going to be the amalgamation of all that information of what I think the April aesthetic is. So if you do like fashion videos and aesthetic videos, definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. Oh, over on Instagram, if you don't follow me, you definitely should, because I love to have your input in my videos and stuff. I asked a few questions about the month of April. The first of which is, if the month of April was a person, they would be ... Positive, wears their heart on their sleeve, anxious, stubborn, sassy, unhinged, fake nice, warm and welcoming but gets depressed, the calm before the storm, pastel cutie with mood swings, indecisive, Phoebe Buffet energy, but also kind of goth. I think this plays a lot into like how fickle the month of April can be in general. It could be sunny one day, rainy the next. But also, I feel like people projected a lot of Aries and Taurus energy into this in terms of being stubborn, sassy, unhinged, fake nice, gets depressed, calm before the storm, mood swings, indecisive. I don't know, it sounds like a lot of like Aries and Taurus traits. The indecisiveness, the chaoticness, the fickleness of Aries mixed with the stubbornness, the sort of somberness of a Taurus. Maybe I'm just reading into it. Then I asked, when you think of April, what do you think of? Spring, flowers, candles, nature, tulips, Easter, pastels, being able to go outside for the first time in months, wind, rain, bunnies, cottages, and herbs. Very kind of cottagecore vibes. And then I said, what is the April color palette in your opinion? To me, it's like gray, because that's all freaking April is to me. It's just gray and rainy, even though it's a beautiful sunny April day right now. Y'all said neon pink and green, yellow, pastels, soft but bright colors, browns, oranges, and beiges, magenta, cyan. So a lot of like floral colors, some brights, some pastels, some very vibrant colors mixed with a lot of like earthy tones, that kind of vibe. And then I asked if April was an aesthetic, what aesthetic would it be? And overwhelmingly, y'all said cottagecore. Almost everyone said cottagecore, which also happens to be my favorite aesthetic. So I have to definitely agree with that. I think cottagecore fits the April vibe very, very well. Others said 2005 Pride and Prejudice, fairycore, light academia, and a little bit of coquette, which I also understand. It's sort of this balance of an indoor-outdoor lifestyle, which I think is why cottagecore works so well, because you can have the barefoot walks in the meadows and being outside with baby animals part of April, but you can also have like knitting in your little home with some blankets part of April as well, which is also very cottagecore. So when I looked up the April aesthetic on TikTok and Pinterest, it was lots of bright flowers, particularly tulips. It seemed very spring summery to me, like a lot brighter than I thought. Again, maybe it's because I'm an April hater and I was just so like, everything about April is gonna be gray and rainy, hate it. But other people clearly perceive April as a time of like flowers and rebirth and spring. I thought a lot of the April girls aesthetic gave more May vibes, like more what the season or the month of May brings. But I do appreciate how people are associating color and florals and stuff with April. And I think your view on April definitely depends on where you live. April in Austin, Texas, where I used to live, is beautiful. I've never liked spring as a season until I lived in Austin, and then I realized what spring was all about. However, April in Miami and in North Carolina is rainy the entire time, and April in Rhode Island is cold and rainy, and some days are sunny, some days it's freezing. It's very, very fickle, which I think a lot of people experience that. However, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, April is actually autumn, which, you know what? I should just move to the Southern Hemisphere because then I get to live my autumnal dreams in April. So when I was trying to think of like what is the April aesthetic, I wanted to take into account the Aries and Taurus signs, which are the two astrology signs in the month of April. Aries is a fire sign. It's chaotic, associated with the color red, named after the god of war. Big bad bitch energy. Aries are known to be very fickle, kind of all over the place, very like Julian. Solomita, if you watch Jenna and Julian or Jenna Marbles back in the day. And then Tauruses are earth signs, stubborn, ethereal, often associated with greens and browns, indulgent, sensual, lazy. And maybe I'm biased, but I feel like Taurus does give more April energy than Aries does. Aries is like a little bit too intense for April, in my opinion. I think Taurus's lackadaisicalness, laziness, indulgence really fits in with the moody portions of April, and Taurus's love of the earth and like grounding and all of that fits in with the outside nature of April. But maybe I'm biased. I love being a Taurus. I believe in earth sign supremacy, in my opinion. So in terms of the breakdown of what I think the April aesthetic is, the colors, I think of like greens, pastels, earthy colors, bright floral colors, like we mentioned before. Likes of the April person are nature walks, handicrafts, baking, picking flowers, picnics. April people hang out in meadows, forests, on bikes, and flower shops. The staples of an April person are pastel sweaters, long skirts, crochet tops, corsets, slouchy knits, comfy, soft, loose clothing. Their shoes are either barefoot, leather sandals, or comfy sneakers. Accessories are bandanas, floral accessories, chunky socks, and tote bags. Very relaxed, I suppose. And again, this is just like something I sort of made up or kind of gathered different information. I would love to think what you guys associate as like the April aesthetic. I'm not going to do a thrifting portion of this video simply because it's not really a concrete aesthetic. It's just, I don't know, I'm just talking about things, and I feel like most of the stuff you can find in your closet to give like an April vibe. But I hope that this inspired you to love April a little bit more. I definitely feel that. Like, I don't know, seeing how other people perceive April made me perceive it better because I've always had quite a negative view on April. I know this was a quite short video, but I just wanted to do like a little a little something, you know, for the month of April, a little something for my girl. So if you do like aesthetic videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I love hearing from y'all over there. And with that, have a happy, happy day, my fellow April people. Bye.